Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony.
There's no surprise here. We predicted this. We've been arguing about it for 40 years, and now here it is. And, Schumer was concerned about the economy because of high petroleum prices. Look at what's happening to markets as a result of this crisis. The Japanese market has utterly tanked. World markets all over and all the stock exchanges are really shaken by this. The potential for damage is in the trillions of dollars.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is an American journalist, author, democracy activist, and advocate for renewable energy. Wow. For over 30 years, this gentleman has been a strategist and an organizer in the anti-nuclear movement. He's been a featured speaker on Today, Nightline, National Public Radio, CNN's Lou Dobbs Tonight, and other major media outlets. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Harvey Wasserman.
Hey, Ron, how are you, man?
Fine. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. Wow.
Glad to be with you.
Great stuff there. Woo! Got you early, get you up early in the morning. So tell us, where were you born?
I was born in the last day of 1945 in Mount Auburn Hospital in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. I luckily went to the University of Michigan from 63 to 67. That was the time to be there. And I lived 14 years on a communal hippie farm in Western Massachusetts, where we helped start the No Nukes movement and the organic gardening movement for our generation. I then moved back to Ohio. I was in Columbus in 2004 when George W. Bush stole the presidential election. And then I taught history at two colleges in Columbus, Ohio until 2017. And then I moved to the Valley of Los Angeles, and I've been here ever since. So I'm an Angelino, and my big project now in life, I do have a radio show on KPFK. It's called California Solartopia. We're on Wednesday nights at kpfk.org from 5 to 6. And I also run a Zoom call later today, every Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. We talk about election protection and saving the environment. And Ron, my big project now for the next 4 years, it's rare I've been able to map out 4 years of my life, but we are going to try and solarize the LA Olympics. We want every facility in the LA Olympics to be completely powered by renewable energy generated within LA County. And we want to put solar panels on every appropriate rooftop in LA County and completely power the county, the city, the state, the country, the world with renewable energy, and shut down all the nuclear power plants, including the two at Diablo Canyon up at San Luis Obispo, where I was arrested in 1984. I spent 3 lovely nights in the San Luis Obispo County Jail, which I highly recommend. And I've been married since 1988. I have 5 daughters, making me the Tevye of the anti-nuclear movement, and I have many grandchildren. So I've had a good life, and I want to make it even better.
5 daughters, no sons.
6 grandsons.
Okay.
So that counts. Confirming my belief that I should never have raised a son.
Yes.
I'm great with daughters, but a son would have been tough for me.
Got you. What is it called when you're in the book business also. How many books did you ever make?
Around 20. Some of them co-authored with a great guy named Robert Fitrakis.
Okay.
And my first book, which was published when I was 26, was called Harvey Wasserman's History of the United States, and it was introduced by Howard Zinn. That's why it got published.
I see.
So, and my most recent book is called The People's Spiral of U.S. History, which I wrote here in the Valley. And it covers all of U.S. history from the indigenous to Trump and beyond.
I see. Did you say Trump by any chance?
You mean Der Fuhrer?
Oh, okay. What do you think? Who do you first of all will think will be the next president? I mean, with all this.
Kamala Harris. If she's not, because Trump will not be a president, he'll be a dictator. And so, we got a choice between dictatorship and democracy here. And it's terrifying. I've just put out a piece. It's at a number of websites, including Down with Tyranny, freepress.org. It's actually up at the laprogressive.com now.
Yes.
About Hitler and Trump and their grotesque similarities. Donald Trump has made it very clear he does not intend to be a president. He intends to be a dictator, and we have to stop him. So actually, starting later today, I'm going to spend the rest of the week making phone calls, mostly into North Carolina, encouraging people to come out and vote.
Wow. Harvey, if I was standing in front of you, I'd hug you. I'd hug you.
Well, people, if you want to contact me, I'm happy to hear from you, and I will give you the contacts of the people to get in touch with. There's a great, my email is solartopia@gmail, like my radio show, California Solartopia. And there's a great group called Center for the Common Ground, which you can get online, and they facilitate making phone calls to potential voters in important states, North Carolina, Georgia, et cetera.
Whatever happened to the politics in this country?
Well, Citizens United and Ronald Reagan. The reason we have a homeless crisis in this country is because of Ronald Reagan. In the 1980s, the Congress passed I think, $65 billion bill which was real money back then, to build public housing. And there would have been enough public housing by now to alleviate the homeless crisis. The reason we have a homeless crisis is because we don't have enough homes. That's pretty simple to do the math. And Reagan killed that. And we pay the price for Reagan and for a lot of other things too with Ronald Reagan. But that's the reality. And so then you had then you put these horrible right-wingers on the Supreme Court. And we have Citizens United, where money, you've got Elon comes in and wrecks our system. You got Elon Musk out there buying votes, just flat out buying votes. It's horrendous.
Illegal. We can't do that.
No, we can't do that. And I will never get a Tesla. It's like the Jews after World War II would never buy a Volkswagen. I'm not going to buy a Tesla. They're junk anyway. And but how do we have that's how we have the thing. What we're in, the situation we're in is because money. It's $1, one vote in this country.
Did was he found guilty 34 times?
He was. Why isn't this guy in jail?
Right.
And why is he
in jail?
And he will put us in prison. If Donald Trump becomes the dictator, we are all headed to Dachau. Dachau was the first concentration camp that Hitler built, and he put, it wasn't specifically for Jews, it was for union organizers. The first people that Hitler put in the concentration camps were union organizers and social democrats, and gays, people of color. And that's what Donald Trump will do. According to him, we're vermin, which is a term that Hitler used.
Right.
So people got to pay attention. Nobody's going to escape this one. I think she'll win, but I think she's been a great candidate.
Yes.
I think she'll make a great president. But it's got to happen, so we got to be making those calls.
His rhetoric that he does. When you talk to a lot of young people, they say he's a real man, real man. I say, well, real men do not wear makeup.
God, he's. I saw The Apprentice at the Laemmle in Santa Monica.
Yes.
Over the weekend, 2.5 of the worst hours you'll ever spend in a theater. But he's a psychopath.
Right.
He is a criminal psychopath. Yes. This guy. And it's horrifying to me that anybody could even consider voting for him. But that's where we're at in this country right now. I'll tell you what really killed the country was Vietnam. I mean, I'm old enough to remember I was draft eligible. I got beat up at the Chicago Convention. I never got my Purple Heart, by the way, but that war destroyed the credibility of the government because you had two presidents who lied every day for how many years? Lyndon Johnson and then Richard Nixon. And they sent 58,000 Americans to die for nothing. God knows how many Vietnamese we killed, blew a ton of money. That was the turning point. Well, the murder of JFK was the turning point, but we don't know for sure. I tend to think that John Kennedy would not have gotten us more deeply into Vietnam. And I do not in any way, shape, or form believe that Lee Oswald killed him. But and that's where it really started. And then I remember LBJ in March of 1965 escalated the war, and that's been America's downfall. I hope we can recover. I think people got to remember. By the way, this is no small step here. Yes, Donald Trump is horrifying. The flip side is that we are on the brink of making, for the first time in human history, a woman of color be the most powerful person on earth. That's a really big deal. Yeah. And don't underestimate that. And that's the real reason. I think if Trump was running against a white guy, it might not be so close. But here we are. She's done I think she's been a fabulous candidate. I think Tim Walz is fine. And here we are with this choice of all humankind.
Did you see what happened over the weekend with him with Madison Square Garden?
Astounding. Astounding. I could hardly watch it, but I did watch it.
Yes.
And, you get Tucker Carlson up there giving a racial slur, the guy, putting down Puerto Rico. I don't watch him speak anymore. I mean, it's just pathetic. There's absolutely no doubt that he has dementia. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking. This guy is nuts. And to put a person in his mental state into the White House, I think the real plan is that J.D. Vance is the digital bro. He's in there for Musk and Peter Thiel and all these right-wing Silicon Valley billionaires. And that's that if they get in there, God forbid, they'll just move Trump out and Vance will take over. That's what's going to happen. So, but people can do something about it. No excuse for wringing your hands. There's a group called Communities United for Justice, and they have people. They're sponsoring kids to go out at $20 an hour and knock on doors. So my money is going to them, and my time this week will be phone calling. I'm going to phone call mostly into North Carolina. I think that's the key state here. But there are things we can do. We can't just say, oh my goodness, and we can't turn a blind eye. There's no doubt that we will have a fascist regime here if Trump gets in, and that's got to stop.
In 2016, you did what was it? An election thief. You did a piece on that.
Well, 2016 was stolen. I mean, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania all had tons of what we call irregularities, which we saw in Ohio 2004 and Florida 2000. And it was not a fair election in that with electronic voting machines at the time and a whole lot of other stuff, Karl Rove knew exactly how to flip an election because they did it in 2004. Which we document. I lived in Columbus. I was teaching history at the community college in Columbus, and my buddy Bob Petrakis is a political scientist. We saw exactly how they stole it in Columbus, and then they did it again in 2004, and they did it again in 2016, and they plan to do it again now. I mean, we have voters being intimidated. We have election boards being taken over by outright fascists. This is the plan of Steve Bannon, and there's no mystery what's going on here. I just hope the the people who are listening to your show, and hi everybody, and are going to wake up and start making the phone calls and support the door-to-door canvases, which I'm going to do, and that's how we got to save our souls here.
Wow. We just happen to have a video standing by for you. Roll it, Tony.
Which Mimi was talking about.
Oh, there's
during
Mimi.
the course of the election, or lead up to the election, I love it. They denied me an absentee ballot. I've lived in the same house and voted in the same precinct since the late 1980s. I called them four times. I said, "What gives?" They said, "Well, you're not registered." I said, "I am registered." Finally, I used the magic words. I'm with the media. And I got my absentee ballot.
Yeah, that's the two people sitting next to me are great heroes. One is Mimi Kennedy, the great actress who was around, both Mimi and Greg. And then there's Greg Palast, who has a great film out called Vigilantes Inc. And go to gregpalast.com, or again, email me, solartopia@gmail, and I'll send you the links. Mimi Kennedy has been a tremendous vote protection activist, and Greg is a great reporter. All three of us live within about a mile of each other in the valley, so we're homies here.
Got you. You would you let people who want to see your books, how can they get in touch with you?
Email me, solartopia@gmail. That's my first book. As you can see, it was introduced by Howard Zinn. It's a history of the U.S. from 1860 to 1920. I was a very humble, and this is my last book. This is a history of the whole United States, the people's spiral of U.S. history. You got a great graphics department, man. Right on top of it. Congratulations. I want to hire this guy. So, this is a history of the whole United States based on a theory of cycles of history. I loved every minute of writing it. That's how I got through the COVID. I just sat in my house, didn't move, and wrote that book. And it's based on 50 years of teaching, writing, and making history. The only way to really learn history is to make it. And when I was a junior in high school, we had a demo. I marched. My mother was a great liberal, and we marched at a local roller rink in Columbus, Ohio, to desegregate it, and we won. And that was a shock to me. I was captain of the tennis team, so I was really into to winning. I was a sports guy.
Yeah.
And the idea that you could go out and do a demonstration and win, I never forgot that. So my activism, I don't go out to be active to like say, well, we gave it a good college try and we can feel good. No, I demand to win, and we better win this. We better win in a week, or we're in deep trouble. So we're not in this to give it a good college try and say, Kamala, I did my best for you. Too bad. No. We got to win this one. So make those phone calls, and we want those Olympics solarized, and we can do that here in LA. So have me back, and I'll say exactly how. It's going to be about 50 facilities. LA is going to be the third city in history to have 3 Olympics. This will be our third Olympics, 1932, 1984, and now 2018. London and Paris also had 3. So, but this time, there are some of the facilities that are going to use from 84, and SoFi is going to be used for swimming, if you can imagine that. But, all those parking lots, they got to be covered with solar panels. All the rooftops in LA, we need to cover the aqueducts with solar panels. And it's not only is it doable, it's cheaper, safer, cleaner, more reliable, more job producing. We got to shut those 2 reactors at Diablo Canyon, and LA will be livable, for God's sakes.
Harvey, I wish we had more time to discuss all the fruitful areas that you've been a part of. Please come on back at another time. And please thank your publicist, my dear friend. You know that lady, Eileen Proctor, that lady. Love her.
I will thank her, and I will invite you on my Zoom call, which is later today, but every Monday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Glad to have you on. We have a great group, usually 50 people. We're podcast, webcast, the whole deal. So no nukes, everybody. We'll solarize Los Angeles, and for God's sakes, put Kamala in the White House.
Thank you,
man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
Harvey Wasserman.
Thank you. Great engineer. Great work.
You got it. Thank you.
All right.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, sir.
Thank you. Tony is no Michael Steele.
Okay, well, that's why you're always complaining about the choice of women.
Who he dates, slept with, it doesn't define him as a man, and it certainly doesn't color his social and political thought. I get it, we're different. Tony and I were raised very differently. In fact, I think my parents were Tony's mom's only black friends.
Hello. Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today started her career as a filmmaker in the year 2008 with a documentary entitled I Want to Be President. Hey. Woo, the gentleman who was on just before, I know he had a lot to think and say what you just said there, madam. Since then, she loves and appreciates the power entertainment has to impact the lives of people around the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome producer, actress, and casting department, Andrea Meshel.
Hello.
And welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I like them glasses on your face. I like them glasses.
Thank you.
You're super. Please tell us where in the world were you born?
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. So I'm
Jamaica?
Yes, Jamaica man.
I've been there several times. I love it. The only thing I don't like about it is the way they do advertising for the people who live there versus the people who they want to come. That stands up. I say, hey, don't you? No, oh, well.
I absolutely agree with you. They treat the tourists a lot better than they treat the residents of the country. So, yes.
Y'all don't even live there. Oh, well. Yeah. So what was it like growing up in Kingston?
It was great. You don't appreciate what you have until it's gone, right? So until as an adult, I can appreciate my childhood a lot more than when I was actually in it. Growing up in Kingston was great. It was for where I was, it was safe. It was very much like family oriented. One of the things, and this kind of inspired my festival as well. The only thing was in certain neighborhoods, you could see the disparities between the haves and the haves not, right? Mm-hmm. We lived in close quarters. And so you saw people who didn't have as much as others and the way they were treated. So that was definitely something that I recognized as a kid growing up. But other than that, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of things. And I would go to the country to visit my grandparents and my cousins and stuff. So that was also fun. And that I definitely didn't appreciate, because we had to get up early in the morning, go, and they had goats and cows and donkeys and things like that. And we had to go and feed them and take them out and go wash our clothes in the river. And I was like, oh no, I'm not accustomed to this. So I didn't like it at all. But now I can totally appreciate that instinct, that survival instinct that you grow up with when you grow in those areas,
Yes. Now, obviously the support that you get from family and friends and what you do, but what made you get into filmmaking? Why?
Wow. Okay. So as a kid in Jamaica, I was always dancing. I loved to dance. So I always would go and watch, there's a theater in Jamaica called Little Theater. And that's how you got to take the dance classes and go to drama classes and things. And I wasn't enrolled in any of that, but I would go and sneak and just watch the classes because that's what I wanted to do.
Gotcha.
And, in high school, so when I got to high school, I was able to start taking performance classes. So we started, I remember doing the Broadway songs in Jamaica, learning that and that being our first performance. And so that was really great. So I just loved the arts. I love the performance arts because I'm not a good painter or drawer, but I love performing.
I won't tell nobody.
So that was really fun, growing up doing that. So when I came to America, and I remember they were doing a production of The Wiz, and I wanted so badly to do it. But, I was intimidated. I felt scared, because it was a whole new world, these big musicals they were doing. And I just was afraid to do it. And I went off to college and saw the same thing, feeling intimidated. And I came back to New York and I said, I said, I'm going to take an acting class. And a friend of mine recommended HB Studios in New York. So I went to HB Studios and I happened to study with Herbert Berghoff, who's the founder of HB Studios. And my first acting class ever. And I get in there and I'm working and he goes, you need to be working. And I was like, really? So I was like, so that was it. All I needed was that validation from him. And it was off the races. And so I started acting. And then I had another great coach, Nathan George, amazing, very just supportive. And Nathan was more about integrity in the arts and more about making sure we speak and represent our people well and making sure that we tell our stories. So that started my journey in what I would say is making sure that we have positive images in our community, you know, in the things that we do, and wanting to make sure that our stories were being told, and that if I'm telling it with integrity and love. And so that started that journey for me. And as an actress, I wasn't getting a lot of work. So I had to create my own, you know. So that means creating your own theater, you know, and creating your own films. So that's kind of what started that for me. Yeah.
In a year 2014, you got your first IMDb credits. You also got a job as a producer for the movie. It was called Alone.
Alone, yes.
Alone.
That was with director and creator Casey wrote that film. And it was really great working with him. It was a great team of people. Skeeter Jones was our camera guy. He was amazing. He's now a director. So yeah, it was really great working with them. And Casey gave me that opportunity. I'd been producing theater, and he and I met and we spoke about producing. And I'd done shorts, and he was like, I'm doing this film. I'd love for you to come on board. And I was like, I'm there. So it was awesome. And Alone was about a vet coming home and dealing with PTSD,
yes,
and you know, having and being in a relationship and things of that nature. And that was really good because once again, those are stories and things that are impacting our communities, right? And stories about people that we don't necessarily, they're not commercial necessarily, but they're going to impact people and tell stories of people that have, you know, given their life to our country, to this country. So it was great to be a part of that.
I know that feeling. I was in the United States Navy for over 21 years.
Wow.
Almost 22 years. And sometimes I tell a lot of people, there's certain other people in this country who don't wear the uniform. I don't know why. I'm an American. I wore the uniform.
You wore the uniform. Yes, you are. I agree with that. You fought for this country and you deserve everything that America has to give.
Yes. Because in this country, anywhere, well, this country, when you put that uniform on, be prepared to die. That's what it's all about. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
On a more favorable area, we got a couple of photos and we like to show folks what you're looking like. Tony, can you run the first one? There we is. Who's that pretty lady right there? Who that?
Oh, wow, that's me.
Okay, me. Okay.
It was at the theater. Jeffrey Anderson Gunther invited me to be at the Scottsboro Boys. It was a play at I think it was the Amiston Theater in downtown Los Angeles. So that was fun.
Okay. Next one. A book. You wrote a book.
Well, it's my book that I am writing. So if that was an inspirational picture for me to make sure that I tell this story, because friends are always telling me, you need to write a book. Everything you've gone through, you need to write a book.
Write a book.
And so I got the cover and the pages, and that's my book. So it hasn't come out yet, but it's in store soon.
Okay. Next one, Tony. Who is that?
Oh, that's me. That's, you know, doing the IMDb, you know, the star meter and things of that nature. So that was me seeing where I stood on the star meter. You know, we all come to Hollywood, right? It's not something that we necessarily want. You don't come here going, I want to be a star. And I don't necessarily come here for that. But it's a part of the package, right? It's a part of the process and a part of what we do here in Hollywood. So I just have to roll with it.
Okay. Last photo that we want to show you. Look at this one, Danger Bucks.
Okay, so my son's in that picture. He's an actor, and he got me on this project. Well, talked to me about this project, and they brought me on as a producer, and I got a role in it. So I got to act in it as well. So it was really good working with my son and his friends in creating this film. And I believe you can see it on Tubi and possibly Prime as well.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the next photo that we want to take a look at is what you're here for, to talk about the Pembroke Tapparelli Arts and Film Festival. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Go back, do it again. Tony, can you show that picture there for just a second? Yes. And this is what we're all about, is that you're showing this for the year 2024.
Awesome.
Tell us something about it, please.
Okay, so the Pembroke Tapparelli Arts and Film Festival is an arts festival that focuses on social justice.
Yes.
We're about making sure we give a platform to underrepresented voices, marginalized people, giving them a voice to tell their stories, show their creativity, show their art, and bring them into the mainstream, so to speak. So Embrace and Liberation is our theme this year. Each year we have a different theme. So we've dealt with mass incarceration, we've dealt with homelessness, we've dealt with a lot of things. This year we're talking about liberty. We're talking about freedom and what that means in various art forms and just to various different portions of our society.
Yes.
Our festival happens to be international, so we get films from all over the world speaking to these issues. So we're really excited about this year. And what we're doing is partnering with various organizations as well. So our art exhibit this year will be from an organization called Mass Liberation. And basically they're a re-entry program. So the men and women that will be exhibiting their artwork will be men and women who have re-entered society from formerly being incarcerated. So it's just amazing to give these artists a voice and to share their work with the world. So that's something that we're really excited about this year.
Wow. We got a video that we thought you might want to see. Tony, roll it, sir.
What's this?
Hi, everyone. It's Meshel Andrea Smith. Or as some of you know me, Andrea Meshel. I hope you're all doing well. I am. I'm reaching out to you today personally because I'm working on something really important and close to my heart. PTAF 2024. And I can really use your support. Many of you know me for years, and you know that I've been dedicated to creating spaces where art, film, and social justice interact.
Yes.
Was you talking at you? When I found the video, I said, got to put that in the show. Got to put that in.
I was speaking to my friends and family because, you know, a lot of times, you know, people, they support, right? And they come out and they donate and stuff, but the continuous need to donate. And unfortunately, when you're working on things of this nature without grants, without sponsorship, you need people to continue to support until you get to a place where you're Sundance or TIFF and you don't need that money anymore, right? Because grants and sponsors are coming in and they're giving you the big bucks, and you could do this on a level that is like, whoa, right? Which is where we hope to go, but we're not there yet. So we still need the community support. We still need our family and friends to show up for us. So that's who I was talking to. I was talking to people like yourself, people like your audience, to share, you know, to help us, because we want to continue to do this work, but we can't do it alone. We need you guys to support. So that was who that was for.
Wow. Wow. Well, one day I go to some of these camps, like a con. I went con one time. They call it con. Some people call it can. I like Toronto place. They always have a great lot of food. Good times down there. But seriously, Andrea, unfortunately, we have to come back to get you back again. I mean, we give you 17 minutes, but there's too much that you got a lot of stuff. Bad, so.
Okay, well, I'll definitely love to come back, Ron. I love this. I love what you're doing. So thank you for having me. And hey, I'm ready to come back.
And bring the book with you, please.
I will.
Please.
Okay, thank you so much.
Indeed, we have a lot to tell us about you. And I want to thank your publicist, my good friend, your good friend, Philip Sokoloff.
Yes.
Takes care of all of us. Good guy.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrea Meshel. Thank you. Thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is currently directing Mark Wilding's play, The Goddamn Couple Down the Hall. Oh, and Merry Christmas. That's a real one, y'all, is here. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but I want you to know, folks, this person you're seeing him right now, he has been around for a long time. Now, he loves being an actor. He loves being a director. And he most certainly involves being a magician. He likes being a magician. In my research, I found out there it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only Charlie Munt.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
How you doing, big guy? How's everything?
I'm good. Everything's great.
Good. Welcome to the Actor's Choice. It's a pleasure and an honor having you here today. Question number one.
Yes, sir.
Where were you born?
Where was I born? New York City. How'd you do that?
No, you didn't.
Thank
you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that picture.
Hey, I can see my house from here.
From my mind, too. I can see it, too.
Really? Are you from New York?
Harlem, across 110th Street.
I was born in Washington Heights.
I'll be damned. What high school did you go to?
Well, by that time, we'd moved out to New Jersey.
I see. New Jersey. Dirty. Yeah, okay.
Jersey. On to Jersey. Yeah, over the river.
Oh, my God. What's it like growing up for you in the Big Apple? What's that like?
Well, it was exciting. It's very different than Los Angeles, where I am now. I have to admit, it was a bit of a culture shock. I mean, every day I wake up and I look outside and I say, the sun again, really? Over and over again with the sun. And I do miss my seasons. And but growing up in the East Coast, my mother was a director, so I was very involved in the arts as a kid.
Yes.
There are arts everywhere in New York and New Jersey. So I grew up in a real sort of artistic world, and that, of course, influenced me. So yeah, I love the East Coast. I love it. I'd like to get back there one day, but
I was going to ask that question. Yes.
Well, my plan is first win the lottery, because otherwise you can't live in Manhattan anymore. So it's too expensive, as you know, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a guy we talk about down on Broadway. What's his name, Tony? The gentleman he's a priest, and you see his statue down there on Broadway. You get your hot dogs, you get with sauerkraut and with all the good times that you have down there. I used to love it. I went to Aviation High School in Queens.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's what I was. Then I went and joined the Navy. My mother kicked me out the house, and I joined the Navy. So I had a good time. So
I'm sure you did.
I understand that you developed a comedy magic act on Manhattan's famed Magic Townhouse. Please tell us about it.
The Magic Townhouse was a brownstone building just north of Bloomingdale's on the east side. And it had a magic shop and a magic cabaret, and we had a Houdini seance every Halloween. And I started there as a young magician when I was 23 years old, working the counter, demonstrating magic tricks and doing kid shows. And I developed an act, and I moved it up to the cabaret. And from there, I started doing clubs and colleges and cruise ships. And it was a great place. It was a great place to learn magic and grow as a magician.
You also became a regular at the world famous Comedy Cellar.
Comedy Cellar down in the Village. Yes, that was the nightclub I started working at. I became a regular there for about 10 years, down on McDougal Street in the Village.
Yes. Yeah. John Stewart, Raymond Reynolds, Dennis Miller. And
yeah, back in the day, all those guys are starting out. It was great watching them develop and becoming who they are. Yeah, it's still a great place. I think it's become probably the biggest comedy club in the city.
Yes.
Right now. They actually have one in Vegas too now.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a great place, and it still is.
You came here to LA as we call it.
LA.
Tony, can you show this picture right here? This one will crack you up. What is that?
That says Sharon. What is that? I can't quite see it. Sharon Stone. Right. Well, that's the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Exactly. That's it. Do you have a star, sir?
I don't. But when I worked on Hollywood Boulevard, I used to tell tourists,
Right.
you know, I would say, "Oh, you know the stars,
Right.
the movie stars, they're buried
Yes.
underneath those stars."
Okay.
That was always fun to tell them that.
Charlie, I got your telephone number. I'm gonna give you a call. You see behind me, all those stars back there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I help a lot of people get stars.
You did.
I call it STD, something to do.
I helped Betty Garrett get a star.
Okay.
Betty Garrett was a member of our theater company. I'm sitting here at Theater West, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks familiar.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Betty Garrett was a member here, and you know, you have to sort of petition the Hollywood Arts Council to get a star, and I remember helping make that happen. Yeah.
The price went up a little bit. It has gone up a little bit.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's up.
I remember back in the day, it was like $1,800 or something like that. I can't remember what it is.
It's almost give or take. It's up about $50,000.
Oh my God.
50,000 plus you have to pay for the application now. It used to be free. That's not.
And you have to guarantee people to show up.
Right.
And you know, when they have the ceremony, right? Yeah.
But we will come together and talk about it. I have your number, and I'll get in touch with you and throw some things at you and see what you can do. Because do you think he deserves a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Yes, he does. He does.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of stuff. Tony, can you show me the next folks there, 44A? This, ladies and gentlemen, this is Theater West.
Yes. Theater West.
Theater West.
Been a member here for many, many years.
Yes.
Yes. Actor, writer, director, producer, doing a lot of stuff here. And currently working on, oh, there you go. There you go. The Goddamn Couple Down the Hall. Oh, and Merry Christmas. I know it's a great title. It's a great play by Mark Wilding. And we open here November 8th. And this is we're on our set here. This set is supposed to be a sort of a Pasadena condo decorated in a mid-century modern style. And their family gathers for Christmas, and maybe there's a murder down the hall. I don't know. Got to come and see and find out. So it's a very funny show.
Yes. Tony, can you please play number 45? Yeah, 45. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Now, here's some pictures we're going to show for just a minute. They tell me you're the one that took the pictures.
Yes, I took the pictures.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Picture number 1. Can you tell us what that is?
That's a picture of John Combs there playing Officer Hoyt.
Oh, Hoyt, did you say? Hoyt?
Officer Hoyt. Yes, he's the oldest rookie on the Pasadena police force. He started a week ago, and he's here to investigate.
Okay. Next one, Tony.
Let's see. Oh, that's Liv Denevi and Sam Gregory. They play the sisters holding the presents, which they destroy because they're mad at each other. You know how families are at Christmas.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. And the only thing that does bring them all together is investigating the possibility of a murder, which, of course, you know, we've all been there.
All right. 45, say please.
Priscilla Esperaloni. Oh my gosh, Priscilla! I always pronounce her name incorrectly. Priscilliana, and that's Cecil Jennings there and Liv in the background, and he's blowing on her hot cider. Very seductive scene.
Seductive. Those guys. Okay. Okay. There you go, Tony. Thank you.
Yeah, there's Dave Kumar. Dave is playing Lance, and he's a very funny character. And he's, as you can see, he's very happy in that moment.
Yes. More.
And there's the family in the background gathered, and that's our set designed by Jack. It's gorgeous. Great looking set.
And I believe there's one more. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a funny effect. It's a little bit of a spoiler alert there, but what she's looking at there are some feathers that have just been blown out of a pillow. And why and how, I'm not going to tell you. You know what? No spoiler alerts. You come find out.
In my haste, I jumped ahead of something I need to tell you.
Yes.
Theater West is a nice place. It has an interactive experience with the latest children musical, The Ugly Duckling.
Great show.
Great show. Who's that fella that's down there that puts it on, him and his wife? What's his name?
Lloyd Schwartz and Barbara Mallory.
Exactly. We had him on the show about a month ago.
Oh, this is their 40th anniversary doing
40th anniversary.
Yeah, I've been in a few storybook shows. They're so much fun. They're great fun, great for young kids.
Yes. Perfect for school trips, family outing, birthday celebrations,
everything. Yeah, they're beautiful very positive, very family-oriented shows, and just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Now, I see you served as the artistic director for the critically acclaimed Chestnuts, the theater program at Theater West.
Yes, that's an older program that we had here. I produced, let's see, I think 8 different productions back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah, they were wonderful shows, and they were old shows, but done. Old shows that people don't really do anymore. We did Waiting for Lefty and Line of Winter. Chestnuts, we call them Chestnuts because they're old classic shows. And I had a lot of fun with that. That program doesn't exist anymore, but I am the artistic director for co-artistic director for a company called Arcane Theater Works with Jeff Rack. And with him, we produced a number of plays and podcasts. And you can see more about that at arcanetheaterworks.com.
Synopsis of this play, please.
This play.
Yes.
Family has gathered for Christmas. It's a present day play. And of course, they have their usual fights and sibling rivalries. And they finally come together because there's a couple down the hall making a lot of noise. And the family begins to wonder if that noise is a murder. Has someone been killed? So this warring, arguing family comes together through their detective work, trying to figure out what has actually happened down the hall. And will it be a Merry Christmas after all? So it's a lot of fun. There's a bit of a murder mystery. Mark Wilding wrote the play. I think he was very much inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window.
Yes.
With a neighbor looking across the courtyard, trying to figure out if a murder has happened. So we have a similar situation going on here.
Good cast.
Oh, great cast. Wonderful people.
When are you open for business?
We open November 8th. And we run through December 15th, Fridays and Saturdays,
yes,
8 o'clock, and Sundays at 2 o'clock.
Ticket prices?
I honestly don't know what the ticket prices are. I think they're somewhere around $30, $40, $200. I don't know.
Okay. Just call the ticket office, ladies and gentlemen. You should get that price.
Yeah, go to theaterwest.org.
Right.
And all the information is there.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. When I look at the look on your face, sir, you love what you do.
I love what I do. I love working in the theater here. I love being on this stage. I love, I still perform too. I work up at the Magic Castle a lot there, and that's a lot of fun. And so yeah, gotta love what you want. Gotta love what you do.
Thank you. Got it. I have a nerve, something I have to pick with a lot of actors and actresses. They come here to Los Angeles. They want to be a star, which is fine. Even though I did hear one day, some guy say, "You know what a star is?" I said, "No, what's a star?" They say rat spelled backwards. I went, "Oh, okay.
All right.
But these folks,
for me, it's always been more like, it's an East Coast thing, I guess, but it's a working actor, a working performer, a working artist. That's what a star is to me, without the money.
Without the money, right? Because they're coming into a film and do everything else, but they won't get up on that stage. What's with them?
Gotta get on stage. Yeah, there's no excuse to not do something. Perform, write something. Just don't wait for somebody to hand you a part or hand you a script. Write it yourself, create it yourself. Be an artist. Don't lock yourself into a box, because the business does that to you. Agents will tell you, well, here's your type. You must be this type because I can sell this type. You do whatever you want to do. You want to act, you want to write, you want to direct, you want to do whatever you want to do it. Don't listen to anybody except yourself.
Project that voice in back seat, back aspect there.
Yes, the projection. Yes. Well, training too. If you're not on the stage, you should be in a studio or a rehearsal hall or a classroom somewhere. Yeah, get that training.
Got you. Charlie, before you leave, I found a video. Tony, can you please play that next one for us? Roll this in.
Yes, I remember that. That's when I was doing a benefit for Force of Nature. There's a photograph of me doing a terrible card fan. Here, I can do much better.
Wow.
There you go. Is that
There you
better?
go. There
That's
you
better.
go. One more time, can you tell us opening dates, please?
Opening November 8th,
Mhm.
running through December 17th, Fridays and Saturdays, Sunday matinee at Theater West, theaterwest.org.
Charlie, thank you very much for doing the work of actor, director, and magician that you do. Continued success, sir. And
Thank you
give
so
my
much.
best to your publicist, Philip Sokoloff.
Ah,
And,
Phil, yeah.
by
Great
the way,
film.
you know, he's an actor. You do know that.
Yes, yes.
A lot of folks don't know that.
I produced the play. I've directed Phil in a play over at the Theater 40 a long time ago.
Good guy. He's a real good guy. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you. Okay.
Take care.
Okay. I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Brandno, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Brett Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Adult Agent, Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's training facility. It's called An Actor's Space. And much, much thanks to our guest today, American journalist, author, democracy activist, Harvey Wasserman. Boy, he had a lot to say. I really appreciate that. Proposed actress, casting director, Andrea Meshel, and actor, director, magician, Charlie Mount. The Actor's Choice presentation to B&B Productions. Rudolph Brewington is he's our president. And Sydney Chandler, she's our executive producer. What a lady. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. I'm Ron Brewington. See you next time. Take care.